It seems like everywhere I turn, people are talking about losing weight, even when it doesn't seem like it should be the topic at hand. If I look for PCOS content, the discussion inevitably ends up being about losing weight while having PCOS. If I look for protein heavy recipes, the creator will inevitably say how many pounds he lost thanks to that specific recipe. And then there are all the supposed problems and symptoms like cortisol face, PCOS belly, etc. But of course, they reframe and approach them from the idea that actually, this is really about calming information and regulating your hormones, not just looking skinnier, even though we know that what is being said is you don't want a round face or a round belly because it's seen as undesirable. But I don't want to be a prisoner of desirability, so I've decided that while going on my journey to deal with PCOS, I would absolutely try my very best not to center weight loss. Obviously, it doesn't mean I don't think about it. I mean, I'm only human, and when you hear the same narratives all day long, no matter how aware you are of what is really being said behind health conversations, you're bound to have a corner of your mind that's like, well, would it be so terrible to switch certain things up in order to lose weight? What's wrong with wanting to lose weight? And I wish I could simply say, well, nothing, do what makes you feel most confident. But that would only be possible to say in a world where this focus on weight loss was a decision that existed in a vacuum, instead of the result of knowing that being skinnier results in you not always having to shop online, checking for the back, or simply being excluded when trying to shop for clothes, in doctors taking your health concerns more seriously instead of just prescribing weight loss, in employers seeing you as less lazy than they do when your body is bigger, and in people just overall treating you better, seeing you as more attractive and therefore worthy of kindness. And the thing is, weight loss will happen, weight fluctuations happen, that's normal. But centering weight loss can make you miss on all the other things, all the non-scale victories, and start really make you try to fast track the journey and adopt bad habits that you think you will simply shake off when you reach your goals, and you won't. Centering weight loss, in my experience, has led to obsessing over calorie counts, obsessing over what I'm eating, especially when I don't control it, obsessing over how it will impact my weight instead of just enjoying a night out with friends or family. It led to body dysmorphia and thinking of food or nice clothes as things that are earned and that I will enjoy once my weight drops instead of parts of my life to enjoy unconditionally. So I decided my health and wellness journey actually had to be about health and wellness, not about aesthetics and desirability. So here are the things I'm doing to really try and decenter weight loss while on my health journey. The first thing is an obvious but hard one because I love numbers, stats, and a good chart, graph or spreadsheets, but I'm no longer going to weigh myself, or at least not as frequently as I did before. Not just because it then starts becoming all about reducing the specific number on the scale, but also because it just doesn't tell the full story. I did two body scans in the span of 2 years, one before my PCOS diagnosis and one after. And I remember at the time my personal trainer asked me what I expected from the scan before showing me the results. Even though I had been exercising steadily, I said, well, I've gained weight, so I'm assuming the scan is going to be a lot worse now. And while I was at a lower weight in the first scan, in the second scan, I had more muscle mass, better bone density, better posture, more muscle definition, and I actually burn more calories at rest now than I did before. So I'm at a better place to burn fat now than I ever was. So just like my trainer told me, weight is just not the entire story. I don't plan on getting another body scan for now because I don't want it to replace stepping on the scale where I just start obsessing with body scans. But knowing that there are so many moving pieces definitely helped me not focus solely on the scale so much. That actually leads me to the second thing I've been doing to decenter weight loss and still appease my number focused self. Instead of focusing on the number on the scale, I've decided to focus on different types of numbers. For instance, I've developed a love for seeing my VO2 max improve, or seeing how many reps I can do on specific exercises, how much weight I can lift, how long I can run before having to take a break. There are just so many ways to actually measure progress that do not have to be directly tied to your weight. And focusing on improving those will most likely still allow you to see weight loss as a side effect anyway. And the best part about these numbers is that they are way more likely to stay stable or show steady growth compared to your weight. The third thing has been curating what type of content I consume. This one can be hard when you're looking for nutrition or fitness advice because more often than not, that's going to result in seeing weight loss content. But honestly, at this point, I don't care if I only have one or two people to go to for that type of content. I'm prioritizing how things make me feel and affect my mindset. For one, just because you have a new focus or goal doesn't mean that everything you consume has to be about that one thing, so I don't necessarily feel the need to only focus on watching health or PCOS content. And two, I'm a firm believer that if we want to see more of a specific type of content, then we should support the creators that make it. So, truth be told, I've been muting the creators whose content makes me feel bad, even when they're just trying to be helpful, because I simply don't want to be exposed to it. In terms of PCOS resources, I've been getting most of my information from Trista Chan's podcast and blog, The Good Life Dietitian, or directly from Mom's Menu. More nutrition content that is not always about PCOS, I also follow Taylor Grasso, and in terms of science-based content from personal trainers that don't demonize fat and often bust myths, I look to Ben Carpenter or Coach Adam. That's basically my rotation, and I'm sure I'll find more, and I am always interested in smaller creators as well. I just don't currently have the bandwidth to look for them because that would most likely mean exposing myself to a lot of things I don't want to see as well. If you have any recommendations though, I'm happy to hear them. The fourth thing is I've stopped postponing doing things that would make me enjoy the way my body looks right now. I used to keep clothes that didn't fit me right in my main closet space, put off shopping trips, refuse to really give much thought to my outfits the way I used to when I was skinnier, etc., simply because my body felt foreign to me. And then I realized I could never become really familiar with it or enjoy it if I kept thinking of building a relationship with it as something that was only meant to happen when it looked a certain way. So instead of deciding I won't get a specific piece of clothing that I really want because I'd want to get it after hitting specific goals, I just get it now. And surprise, surprise, it hasn't made me more complacent. It hasn't made me want to take care of my body less. If anything, it just made the journey less painful. Being able to actually enjoy myself and take care of my body no matter where it is at in terms of what I view as progress has made me actually do things in relation to it from a place of love as opposed to doing it from a place of hatred or self-punishment, and also made me able to be a lot more patient with my journey. I don't try to fit into clothes anymore, they really just have to fit me. The fifth thing is really developing and focusing on aspects of myself that are not related to how I look. And I cannot stress that enough. I've been trying to remember that I am more than just a body or a sum of workout stats. I, in general, really think that the amount of mental space our looks actually take is way too much. The amount of power we give to the way we look, but also the way others do, I simply think is a bit ridiculous at times. And sometimes I can't help but think of everything we could all get done if we dedicated that same amount of time and energy to doing things that we actually love, to helping each other as a community, to actually bettering things around us. I simply don't like the idea of the way I look being my priority at all times. The world already spends a great amount of time judging us and telling us how we should look and act, so there's really no point in adding to that. So I try to just keep existing and focusing on every other thing that makes me who I am. My love for art, animation, my love for cooking and mixology, my love for dancing, especially pole dancing, my love for journaling, for reading, for writing, for plants, for flowers, for music and history, for fashion, for tarot, traditional African spirituality. All of those things are much more important to me than what I look like, and to anybody that actually matters to me, those represent me more than my body alone ever could. So why should I limit myself and focus all my time and energy on it? The last thing has been absolutely crucial, which is self-compassion and community. As I move away from centering weight loss, I'm not going to pretend I don't still have thoughts of just focusing on it for a month and then decentering it. I'm not going to pretend I don't still get tempted by fad diets here and there or tips and tricks to fast track weight loss. I'm not going to pretend I'm not still working on adjusting to being easily at the highest weight I've ever been. But it is a work in progress to exist outside of those things, and when I do catch myself having negative feelings, I express compassion towards myself and not shame. Because it is not my fault that the world is the way it is. It is not my fault that women especially are taught to center beauty from the moment we can understand a compliment. It is not my fault, and I am not alone in feeling this way, which is where the community part comes in. I will regularly share how I feel with my friends and with my partner because it makes it better when you realize that you are not alone in feeling the way you do. And very often, I realize that when I make an effort to beat beauty sickness, all those things that aren't my fault get slightly better because I go against them. So as I stay on my health and wellness journey, I'm enjoying food, I'm enjoying movement, I'm enjoying feeling more energized, sleeping better, having better focus, reconnecting with myself and my hobbies, and seeing how slowly but surely weight loss happens but occupies my mind a lot less. That's it.